All right, in this video, I'm going to show you a few things. One, how to make a thumbnail. Two, how to make it pop and stand out a little bit more from the rest while still being clickbaity and still getting the attention you need on your video. And also what I mean by clickbaity as in not something that's misleading, but it still is catchy, where they see it like, oh, that's interesting, click. That's what your goal is. So with that being said, let's jump right into Adobe Photoshop. Once Adobe is loaded, the first step is to go to Create New. All right, then after you go to Create New, you're going to go over here. You're going to name your preset. So YouTube thumbnail. We're going to go 1920, height 1080, and then go down to Create. All right, the first thing we're going to do once we're at this screen is click this brush icon. Once you get that brush icon, you can come up all the way over here and select the size. Select the biggest, done. Come over here, select whatever color you want your background. But remember, we want this to be contrasting well and pop. So let's go straight to black. Now we're on black. And now one click, done. All right. Now we got a black canvas to start with. All right, now we got this black canvas. The next step is to go up to the rectangular tool. When you click that, anything that is filled here will be the only portions that will be filled in when you go to color. So we're going to make a little quick border to be able to make it stand out a little bit more. So after we select this, we go to paintbrush. Now I'm going to kick the opposite color, just straight up there, right? Uh-oh. When it does that, you got to make sure you have the layer selected. So you come down here, select the layer. Now, look, you see how that's overlaying, but it's not coloring in anything else. Really cool, right? A very simple, cool tool. Now, as you can see, it's already like popping. Like you can see that it contrasts well. Well, we're going to repeat the process down over here to make it pop a little bit more. So we got the rectangular tool selected. We got the layer selected. Now we're going to click and drag and do the same thing. Wait a minute, it didn't work. Well, I'll tell you why it didn't work. Because when you first select an item, it locks it in place. It is kind of a nuisance, but at the same point, an extremely good thing that it stays in place. But to get rid of it, you're wondering, you click and drag and overlay it on top of it. So you create a bigger box over the box you made. Well, now since it's gone, I have free range to come down here, do this, and have it highlight again. Hooray, we did it. Next, we just pick a paintbrush, pick whatever color we want. I'm going to pick yellow this time. Make sure my layer is selected, and then click, drag, and color it in. Voila. Now the next step is the text. Let's go. We go over to the text tool. You're going to left click it, highlight it. But you're also going to want to right click it, make sure it's on the horizontal type tool. Once it's on that, click on your artwork anywhere. Okay, now we got the text popping up. Once the text popping up, we could type anything in there because when it looks like that, it's highlighted. So I'm going to type in the final hour. Okay, it's my podcast and just whatever. Now, you're like, it's off the screen, it's not centered. Well, there's multiple ways you could fix this. The first one is, you see how right now when it has a 4 cross arrow, when you left click and hold, you can move it. You know, move wherever you want to go. Now there's a much more useful tool to do this with. Come over here to the move tool and then click and drag on it. You can go anywhere. Click on any one of these corners to increase and make it bigger and smaller. Now I want it centered, so here's the purple line. Once you see the purple line, it's centered. I'm gonna make it bigger, kind of like this, right? Now we got a nice like title for one set of type of videos I make, because my channel is multi-channeled. Once that's made, we go to new thumbnail. Right? New thumbnail. And then we type, let's move it. Oh, nope. Let's go to the move tool. Move it. Make it smaller. Centered. And then type here, temp plate. Right? Now we got this. We got a nice template. Nice, simple, whatever. I want this a little bit lower. Right, a little bit lower. There we go. Kind of centered. It's a whatever thing. But you want to change the font. Okay, to be able to change the font, you go back to the text tool. Highlight all of the text like this. And you see how this says impacted? I'm going to change that to that one. Bloody Valentine. All right, I changed the text already. Now you want to change the color. Oh, yeah, I'm going to change the color on new thumbnail. Same process as changing the font. You press Control A to highlight all of it. And then come over here and just click and drag and find a color you want. I'm going to pick this color. Boop. Okay, make sure you do it that way because sometimes it doesn't change. It's kind of temperamental at times. It is Adobe. There we go. We got a nice new template for text. So, and this is the thing that you're going to put on every thumbnail, but you're going to make it smaller. And we're going to be using the Move tool icon. I'm also going to show you a trick that I learned recently. Well, first off, click and drag and then start highlighting what you want to make smaller or bigger. Now, everything you highlight in this square will be able to be adjusted at the same time. So everything would be centered. Do you see how all these layers over here are highlighted? Every single layer that is highlighted will be adjusted now with the Move tool icon instead of just one particular thing like we did with the text earlier. Now, since we have it like this, oh shit, what did I do? I messed up, right? No, I actually didn't. I did it on purpose to show you something. You see how I clicked on that and now I'm just moving this? Well, what's cool is I'm going to recenter it by undoing what I did, but I'm also going to hold Shift. I'm going to make sure a layer is highlighted, hold Shift, and select another layer. Now, only these two layers will move. Isn't that cool? Right? Okay. Now let's get on to the finishing product. I'm going to highlight all of them and center this. Okay, now I'm going to just put it here. I don't care. Just getting the point. Next, we're going to add in an image because we want to fill in this transparent section. And we're going to fill in the image with something that's related to the title. And right now we're talking about the final hour. That's what the title says of this, right? So I'm going to find a picture from my recent podcast, and that was with Dark Corrupted Brains, the Voodoo King. Well, here we go. Here's this. Click, drag, and drop, right? There we go. Drag, dropped, and now it's on top, right? Well, what we do is, instead of having it on the top layer, we bring it all the way to the bottom. Click, drag, drop. That's it. That easy. Now, since like this is kind of like already a thumbnail I did, I want to fix this. Like, oh, it doesn't kind of work. It's not centered. Well, I'm going to click here, select the move things that's already selected, and just make this bigger. And that's it. Since your thumbnail is complete, the last step you have to do is export it. So you go up here to File, you go down to Export, go to Export As. Make for sure it's a JPEG. Come down to make sure the image size is 1920 by 1080, and then make sure the canvas size is 1920 by 1080. That's it. You go to export, you name it template, right? Enter. Done. That's it. And that is how I make a thumbnail for YouTube. It pops, it gives retention, and it explains what's in the video really easily just through the picture. Now, what's cool is you reload this project, you delete the bottom layer, add a new picture, and change the text for your next YouTube video. That's it. And that is how I make YouTube video thumbnails really quickly. Well, I hope this helped you out. If you got any info or tips that you want to add in, put them in the comments. Have a good day, and peace out.